Hey all, good morning. Welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, it seems that finally what I was looking for is approaching. Yesterday, I was happy to take some profits on SMCI. So I was very delighted because it was a negative position I had with SMCZ for a while. But I saw that my profits on SMCI was way more than the losses on the SMCZ, which is a short ETF for SMCI. So I offset them and made around $650 to $700 approximately on that one. So I'm still negative on FNGT, that is Mag 7 short. And also I'm short on Tesla. Both of them I'm maintaining for the time being because I think the market inflection point has arrived. And we are looking at the US stock futures, which are sharply, I think they just, if we look at the, let's go directly into the chart. If you look at them, they're down. And if I go to a 1 day time frame out here, let's put it into a 1 day time frame and make it a single window out here. So you can see that we have been declining on the S&P continuously for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So usually what used to happen was we used to get a green opening and then go into the red. But today we are opening red, and we'll have to see whether this support out here at 6283 enables us to rally back, and in which case we'll have a resistance which is going to be at 6,377 to push us back down. I think similar story for NASDAQ. We'll check that out when we go into the TradingView platform. But at the open, S&P futures are down. NASDAQ 100 futures are also looking a little bit shaky. And if I was to look at the momentum, I think that momentum was driven by strong big tech earnings, and we would trade these. The markets later gave up gains amid profit taking and tariff concerns, because tariff kicked in midnight on 31st, that is yesterday. And notable is that this morning in pre-market action, Amazon is now down 7%. If you recollect, Microsoft also opened up post-earnings 8% high in pre-market, only to give up 4% of the gains intraday, and that is almost half the gains. And this morning it has opened up slightly positive. I'm expecting a similar story for Amazon. So AMZD is an ETF, which is an Amazon short ETF. It's rather late in the day to buy now, but I will try to buy it and get out of it before the end of the day so that I can trap some gains out there. So that's my game plan. Again, these are all personal opinions, not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence, whatever you do, because this is a very volatile market. Could lose a lot of money. July closed strong. S&P 500 was up 2.3%. NASDAQ was up 3.7% for the month, both extending their multi-month rallies. August may not exactly be as strong, in my opinion, because the tariffs clicked in at midnight last night, and we should expect a whole bunch of companies talking about increasing price for their products. I'll talk more about this towards the end of the session. But the major headlines today indicate that Meta surged over 11% on exceptional AI-driven and profit growth, offering bullish forward guidance. Microsoft posted robust cloud and AI results, briefly pushing its market cap above $4 trillion after earnings that was almost 8% up. And Amazon reported after the bell yesterday and also topped expectation with solid AWS and retail growth. Margins were stable, and upbeat commentary on e-commerce and logistics despite ongoing tariff headwinds helped the share to rally 6% in after-hours trading yesterday. But this morning in pre-market, it's down 7%. Apple is going to report tonight. Wall Street now turns the focus to Apple's Q3 earnings after today's close, and analysts are expecting modest revenue growth in the 89 billion range, and EPS of around 1.42 to 1.43 dollars. And investors will watch for updates on iPhone sales, services growth, tariffs impact, and progress on AI initiative. I always put more emphasis on services growth. More service growth, the better for the margins and improvement in the future prospects. Fed has held the rate steady at 4.25 to 4.5%, as I mentioned yesterday, with two dissenters. And this signals there is no urgency for cuts. And therefore, it seems the markets have recalibrated, and odds of a September rate cut fell below 40% and seen in the price of the indices. And President Trump extended Mexico's tariffs reprieve 90 days and finalized the new South Korea deal, 15% tariff rate. And whenever I say deal, just imagine a framework, because there is no deal in place. It's just a framework. New tariffs go on India at 25%, Brazil at 50%, and a looming Friday deadline for other deals add up to uncertainties. So that's where we are at this point of time. But the tariffs have already clicked in on midnight yesterday, and that took out a whole host of uncertainties out of the table. But remember, there's a court case that is going on in the US, a challenge by many states and also small businesses who are saying that Trump never had the authority to impose tariffs in the first place. And the reason that he gave for imposing it, the emergency, is not actually emergency, because if tariff deficits have been going on for 50 years, it doesn't suddenly become an emergency, and everything has to go through Congress when it comes to tariffs. Now, the appeals court heard it yesterday, and the kind of questions they asked seem to indicate that they're not going to go along with the government, and they might side with the lower court, which had said that tariffs are illegal as the way imposed by Trump, and it has to go through Congress. So that's where we are right now. So remember, that's going to cause uncertainty as we get more news from the appeals court hitting the press later in the day. Global markets are jittery as US world tariffs have clicked in. And in terms of economic data, today we are looking at unemployment data. Earlier, the PCE index showed inflation slightly above Fed's 2% target, a reason for Fed's continuous caution around the rate cuts. And that's reflected in the price action today. And the July's job report due today at 8:30 a.m. is now the key data point for gauging labor market health and influencing the Fed outlook. We'll get non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, and a slew of employment data that can move the markets. All of this is coming at around 8:30 a.m. Also, one more economic data point is going to come at around 10:30 a.m., which is the ISM manufacturing. So you can see at 8:30 we have a whole bunch. So whatever we are seeing in the futures market right now could change abruptly if there are some positive catalysts out there. Otherwise, I think we are in for a red day today. In terms of notable movers, I think Meta is looking pretty good. Let's go into the AI and look at Meta. Meta is was up 11.25% yesterday, but it's down 0.94. Let us just see the ones that are looking positive, because that will be very important. But as I scan around, Apple seems to be positive, but it has not reported earnings. The one bright spot I can see is Microsoft with a plus 0.76%, because it has already reported earnings, and it went up 8% and it dropped 4%. And now it's trying to regain some of the gains that it had. So Microsoft looks promising. Tesla already reported it's in the negative, despite having a positive report. Oracle is also down, but it has AMD. No, I don't see any rays of hope out here. Everything is generally down. So the market is likely to go down, in my opinion, unless we get some positive catalyst in the economic reports. So I think market remain tech and AI fueled, and therefore if tech and AI starts falling, markets will also fall. And the focus is on Apple earnings and the July jobs report for next moves. Remember, someone has to pay the average 15% tariff starting today. If the customer pays, then expect inflation to drop and inflation to go up and a drop in demand, leading to recession and further job losses. If the companies absorb all the tariff costs, it means forward PE will be weak, and that will make the stock market drop. It could end up being a mixed bag where companies absorb a little bit of tariff, and they pass on a little bit to the customer to account for the entire tariff, then that would end up giving us both job losses as well as inflation. That is the prospect of stagflation. And that's what most economists are worried about. And I think that's what Jay Powell and all the members of the Fed board who voted against rate cuts are worried about. So that, my friends, is my early morning commentary. Now let's go on and have a look at the indices. We already saw S&P 500. NASDAQ is also down 2 consecutive days. It's going to open minus 1% in when the market opens, unless we have some positive catalyst from the economic earning report. And I would like to plot a support level for NASDAQ. So, in my opinion, we'll have some support for NASDAQ today in the futures at around 22,684. That's going to be the support level for NASDAQ. And let's go on to look at dollar index, which is going up, which should mean that gold has to go down. So let us see what is happening with gold. Gold is going up. So basically, it indicates that the market probably thinks that the economic condition is not that good. They're expecting some bad news coming out in the economic report. So gold is starting to gain back again, but I wouldn't be too optimistic about this. I've already invested in Z gold, as I mentioned earlier, but this to me seems to be a bad flag in the creation, and the bad flags could go down. And we already come down below this diagonal line of support that we had before, which has now become resistance. And if you look at this parallel channel, the dotted line in the center, if you can see that in your screen, is the median. And we are facing the resistance out there for gold today. If we break up above that, then that would give us a support. And then we can look at overcoming this diagonal line of resistance. Overall, I'm bullish on gold because I think that the dollar strength might wane as the economic conditions in the US start to get diluted. Now, QQQ indicates a negative open. It's down 0.94% in pre-market trades. And I would like to go back and have a look at S&P 500. And as you can see, we broke below the diagonal line of support that we had yesterday. So this now becomes a resistance for today. And the resistance for today is 6,352.66. And the support for today is 6,239.80 for S&P 500. And we have NASDAQ, which is gone below this horizontal line of support that we had earlier. That becomes a resistance now at 23,218.12, and the support for today, in my opinion, is going to be out here. Let me draw this as a straight horizontal line and put it somewhere out here. So I'm thinking that we are going to have a support somewhere out here. So this could be my line of support for today. And we also have this diagonal line of support coming in earlier to that. So we have a support at 22,759.74. Now let's look at VIX. VIX is going up 11.61%, certainly a huge jump. And that changes the complexion of everything, which shows that there's jitters in the market. And probably people who are sitting on a lot of profits on AI are going to start taking those profits right now. And yeah, of course, gold we already covered. So let's go on and look at AI. Look at some select stocks. NVDA, which got all the benefit of all these companies saying there is really more infrastructure investment, went up a little, but it has come down again. I would like to watch NVIDIA and see if it drops below this line of support, which happens to be 175.73. Today we are in the pre-market at 175.00. So I'm going to assume that we are going to open negative. So our resistance is going to be at around 175.73. And our support is this diagonal line of support from earlier. And that's going to be around 167.19. So that's our support for today. And as we come closer to earnings, I might like to take a bite onto NVIDIA, a small amount of stocks, and see if we can get a bump out there. So that's for later. But right now, the bearish flags are, the bearish divergence are starting to show their effect on the stock prices. And my positioning as a short is coming to help me out right now. And my chart is looking, my portfolio is starting to look much better. Meta is down 0.90 in pre-market trades, and it's going to get support at 737.18, which is what I'm going to mark as a support line out here. Google is down 1.85%. It has broken down below this support, which we had of 193.73. So I'm going to mark that red. So 193.73 is the resistance for today. And our support for today will be somewhere around 186.86. I'm just going to draw this line out here. As you can see, it has worked out in the past. So I'm going to put this out here and let it be. It's a minor line of support. And that's another minor line of support that I can see, which could work for us. And that is going to be at 186.75. Most probably we'll end up at around 186.75. If not, then we're going to come down to 181.44. Amazon is next. It's down 8.07% in pre-market trades after making some gains yesterday and giving them up after the earnings. So our support today is going to be at 228.74 for Amazon. Apple is the interesting one. It's up 1.72 in pre-market trades, but it has got a minor line of resistance at around 213.54. So that's going to be the first challenge. And the second challenge is going to be, let me just fine tune this. The second challenge is going to be somewhere around 215.41 for today. So those are the levels of resistance that we can see for Apple. Microsoft is up 0.75% after giving up some gains. So I would say that the gap fill is going to be something that's going to attract Microsoft downwards. And when it comes down, it's going to get support somewhere in the region of 519.68. That's going to be the support for Microsoft today. Tesla continues its move downwards, and it has got support, very strong support at 297.39, which is a long-term support. We'll see what happens with that. And I'm on TSLQ, so I'm looking forward to the drop. Oracle is down 1.92%. It has met our target of 254.68. I generally don't buy or sell Oracle because my wife works for that company. We have training windows and stuff like that. I don't want to mess it up, but pretty strong stock, out of the controversy, and everything is going fine for Oracle. I think that it will consolidate a little bit and move in tandem with the overall stock market and may start giving up some gains going forward. And it has got really good support levels. I'll plot those support levels in the subsequent sessions. AMD is down 3.44%. I think the next support for it is going to be at 166.51. It would be interesting to see what happens with this diagonal line. If I extend this diagonal line of support and take it down here, we get a support today at around 172.36, failing which we are coming down. And we have SMCI, which I took good profit of yesterday. Looking at the resistance at 62.19, I think I sold at somewhere around $61 or something. But I made a lot of gains out there. I also sold off SMCZ. And today we are down 3.37%. In hindsight, I shouldn't have sold SMCZ. I should have retained it. But I'm not entering any further shorts today. I'm going to wait for the market to definitively turn short and then get into more shorts and dollar cost average my shorts and reap more profits. Broadcom is down 2.29%. It's below the line of support of 291.12, which now becomes a resistance for today. And the support for today will be somewhere in the region of $276. Then we have Palantir, which is down 1.50%, and it's going to get a really good support at 145.11, and it also will get a support somewhere in the region of 148.86 for today. And I don't see any resistance for it. In fact, we have a price target which is at 175.52, 174.64 for Palantir, but Palantir might end up moving in sympathy with the overall market if the overall sentiment goes down. So that, I think, is my coverage for today, my friends. And I'm going to go in and look at Genomics just to look at a few stocks there. Prime is down 4.61% in pre-market trades. I believe that it will get a support at 3.26. Right now, it's at 3.56. Intel is down 3.87% in pre-market trades. That takes it to 11.19. We have earlier support at 11.31, which is now going to act as a resistance going forward. And then we have Caribou Biosciences down 1.48%. Our support at 1.92 continues to be a support for today. Beam is down 3.86%. It takes Beam to 18.95 in pre-market action. We had a support at 19.06, which now becomes a resistance for today. And Autoimmune continues to keep on progressing downwards. It's down 1.90%. But in my opinion, I still think that it's on a bull channel going on out here. And we have already met our earlier target of 6.94. So I'm just going to remove this target from here. And looking at new targets coming in, this is a reverse head and shoulder pattern that I'm looking at out here. And I'm going to take a chart from a line from here and plot it out. Sorry, let me just delete this and draw the neckline first. So I think this was the neckline. This was the neckline for us. And with this as the neckline, I'm going to plot the target for Autoimmune. So if I take the breakout out here from the neckline and straighten this line out a little bit, I think we have a target of 8.36. I'm holding Autoimmune for a longer term. So my target is 8.36. And that said, let's go on for Editas, which is down 2.79%. Illumina is down 2.56%. And we had earnings come out. It did well on the earnings, but overall market sentiment is down. And I think Illumina is moving along with the market sentiment. And our earlier support at 103.27 now becomes a resistance for us. And a support will be formed by Illumina at around 90.78. Illumina can also look at a minor line of support, which is going to be somewhere out here. I'm just going to mark this orange, which is our convention. And I think that is going to give us support at around 94.53 for today. Right now, we are at 100.08. CRISPR Therapeutics is down 4.91%. And we have managed to get into this regression channel. We are just into the regression channel at around 53.71. We are right now at 53.50. So 53.71 becomes a resistance for today. And we have a support out here, which I'm going to extend further and say we would have a potential support at 49.11 for today. Next, we go to Allogene, which is up 4.07%. We are coming up to earnings, which is on 6th of August. And our line of support at 1.36 is already a line of resistance for us today. And that's where we are going to. And we are gained 4.07% in pre-market. I think there is no major news out there. This is just some freakish sentiment that's happening. Grail is down 3.16%, and the support for today is going to be 31.82. Next, I'd like to look at Precision, which is something that I'm invested in. I want to see what's happening out there. It's flat in pre-market trades. It's got the diagonal line of support today. I think it will give a support at 1.54. I'm holding it until August. Third week of August is when FDA approval is around the corner for a therapy for skin condition. So I'm holding on for that. We're still on our bull channel, so I'm comfortable with it. A little bit of volatility is okay, I would say. Now I want to look at our chat section and see if there is any chat action going on. And yeah, we have got some people on the chat. And it is Hot Dog saying good morning. And hey, good morning, Hot Dog. Is there anything else that you want to talk to me about, which you would like to inform us about, something that you're working on? Please put it in the chat section. Or else I've done talking about all the things I wanted to. And I'm ready to wind down this session today. And I wish you guys all the very best. And I think the trend reversal is in place. I'm happy about that because I'm positioned for it. And also it gives us opportunities to buy really good quality stock at a lower price and capitalize on the gains that we already made. So as I mentioned earlier, I've already taken all the profits on my stocks. And I'm right now in net short, both on S&P 500 through SH and also Max 7 short through FNGD. So waiting for those things to come up. Thanks a lot, my friend. Thanks for joining. I'll catch up again with you in the next video. Bye for now.